AT3 tactical sight. I'm doing some testing on stuff today, and this particular sight is their RCO model. This one here has the circle dot reticle, which is very nice, and preferred by me actually than just a standard red dot. So today we're going to do some testing on it, and hopefully it'll pass my specifications so that I will put my seal of approval on this particular dot. Features it has is 6 positions, 2 night vision settings, 50,000 hours of battery life according to them, and it also has an auto shut off, which means that after 6 hours it does turn off. I've already done that. I've pretty much every time I pick it up I turn it on and go to sleep or do whatever, and then wake up in the morning it's off. So you don't have to worry about sitting it in your case and the battery dies or whatever, and then it and then you got to go back and adjust it and all that, or go get a new battery for it. So it does just shut off, and as soon as you hit one of those top 2 buttons on there, it will immediately turn back on to the same setting it was before. One thing I'm kind of nervous about with this particular sight though is that if you look at the caps, or the adjustment caps, they're not covered. They don't have a actual screw-on cover. They're just exposed to the elements, which is one of the things that I'm kind of nervous about with this particular sight. So it also comes with bikini covers and the actual flip-up lens covers, and then it also comes with 2 different mounts and a riser, so you can pick between full co-witness, 1/3 co-witness, or just mount it directly on a rail for other guns besides an AR. The upper today is an AT3 tactical upper on a lightweight KE arms lower. I've got another test we're going to do on the actual rifle itself and make sure that the durability is there where I want it. But we're going to change the lower to the same color once I get that in. But in the meantime, today we're going to focus on the dot, and I'm going to focus on the actual sight itself. AT3 Tactical is claiming this thing's waterproof. So the very first thing we need to do is test and see if it's actually waterproof. So with the scope caps down, which realistically you can shoot through it with the scope caps up, but I don't really think that that's necessary, nor would I think that the average user would do that. You'd probably just flip them down. They're kind of chintzy. We're going to go ahead and test waterproof. So you see everybody doing this on the internet now, just 100% submersion in water. If the seals are not good or it's not properly sealed, you're going to have some issues with it. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're just going to do a full immersion. It's 100% in the water. The whole sight is anyway. Nice little way to deal with it. We'll leave it in there for a couple minutes here. We're seeing some bubbles there. Pretty common test. It should hold up to this just fine, but again, if those scope caps are not, those adjustments are not waterproof, you're going to see internal fogging and all kinds of stuff going on with that sight. So first things first, we'll go ahead and take that out now. We've got it 100% submerged in water for a couple seconds there, and there's actually water in the lenses, but it 100% is still on. Now here's the thing with trying to film this reticle, which we may not be able to get for you because of the camera. It's showing it flashing. It's not actually flashing. It's on constant on. So it's not actually flashing at all. And yeah, there's actually water like in the bottom of the scope caps, and it doesn't care one bit. It's just going to sit there and doesn't give one bit of difference. So there you go. Would the average user go swimming with it? I don't know, but I do want to see if it's actually waterproof. So again, shake it out. Nothing. It's completely on. It's working just fine. So that's pretty cool. You always worry about sensitive electronics. You can see that I got actual water like on the lenses now. So we'll go ahead and dump some on there. Right, so it's just going to sit there. If that lens isn't properly sealed, man, that's going to start dripping in and internally fogging. Shake it out. Absolutely nothing. Go here. Right, I got it actually filled up. It's actually in the lens. So if you're not talking waterproof now, I don't know what to tell you. Shake it out. Absolutely 100% still running. No issues. If I look, there's no signs of anything coming. Now we'll look back at it in about an hour and see if anything actually did penetrate. If water penetrates in there, you'll actually get fogging inside of the scope itself. So that's test number 1, and it passed at least the initial water immersion and water pouring on tests. They don't say it's water resistant, they say it's waterproof. So my next test is what happens if you drop it in the mud. So what we do here is this is actually some nice soupy nasty mud here. We're gonna go ahead and, it's pretty soupy nasty crap. Scientifically I put potting soil in here, so it's actually like potting soil mud, and we are going to, with the lens caps down, go ahead and submerge it in the mud. Scoop some of it up.
Our time's running out.
Is it? Alright, so there we got some mud on there. That's still a nasty, crappy mess. But even with, I don't know if you're going to pick that up on the camera, but
yep.
You can. Alright guys, so I've got it submerged in the muddy, soupy mix now for about 5-10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take it back out. You can see it's a muddy, nasty mess. Give it a shake here, see if I can get that. That thing's still on. So that dot is still on. It's still 100% running. I don't know if you can see it through the mud, but you can see it still running there. We will I don't see anything that would be signs of internal fogging. Yeah, it's still good to go. I mean, there's obviously water on the lenses, but we expect that. So next time you see me, we'll be doing something else. So what happens if I leave it in the mud, and then I have to, like, I don't know, it gets in the mud, and then I go to sleep or something and don't realize it's in the mud, and then I got to use it the next day. We're about to find out how long it takes for the mud to dry, and then we clean that crap off a cool way. So stay tuned for that. So we left it in there. We put it in at, I covered it in mud just like you saw at 11 o'clock. It is almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. And if you look, there's actually moisture under the lens cap. Let's flip that up. Oh yeah. So there's still wet mud in here. So we're gonna clean it off and see if it's still on. But I figure, well, we could pour water on it, but why do that when I can put it, how about 2,000 PSI? I think that might be a better test. So 2,000 PSI power washer. We'll test if it's waterproof now. It's taking freaking shit off the deck. So that's 2,000 PSI of water on there. It did clean it. Ha! It turned right back on.
Yep, there it is.
So far, caller me impressed. We'll see what else we can do to this thing. Also, AT3 tactical upper, I'm sorry, with a Faxon barrel in it. We're going to test the water resistance of Cerakote, I guess, because that's what this is, flat dark earth Cerakote. I'll throw some WD on it and hopefully we'll get it out of there. But yeah, so much for it not being waterproof, especially in those caps. I'm not seeing anything in there to indicate that it's internally fogged. We'll check it after a while, obviously, but yeah. Yeah, there's nothing inside of there at all. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. Okay guys, so here is the site after about, it's now 5:30 in the afternoon. So several hours later, if we check, that dot is still 100% on. There is absolutely no sign of internal fogging. This is several hours after the fact. You can see it's a circle dot reticle there. And if I look at everything on this site, it is really no worse for wear. The rubber buttons are fine. The adjustment caps are fine. And other than
right there, apparently the pins that are used for the flip-up scope covers are not stainless because they rusted. But oh well, that's really not that big a deal, and I don't really care. So, and you probably shouldn't either, because the sight is still great. And that's the exact sight, not a sign of any kind of internal fogging in there whatsoever. So it's good to go.